Sorry, okay. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Doctor Who Reviews, episode number 63. This is going to be a whole series for Doctor Who, like a whole season. This was the 11th series for the New Who, but it's the first series under Jodie Whittaker. Yep. With her original companions. Graham, Yaz, who's at the very end, and Ryan. Now, I should point out, though, that at this particular time, due to budget reasons, the runtime of the episodes increased because from Series 1 to Series 10, each of the episodes were roughly about 45 minutes. These episodes can range from 50 minutes to like a little over an hour. It's basically similar to what you see for Netflix stuff. And also, this was the first season of first series Doctor Who. There was no storyline connecting the episodes. It was a series of standalone episodes. This series was also noteworthy for not only the increased runtime, it had a decreased episode count, because if you count the Christmas specials, you had roughly 13, 14 episodes every season. This one had 10. And it was also the first one not to have a Christmas special. It had a New Year's Day special. I'll discuss in the next video. Basically, no, anyways. So, in these 10 episodes, there's roughly 10 episodes for the series. For this one, anyways. For Series 11, which came out. Let's see if we can find it here. Here we go. Excuse me, it came roughly in 2018, roughly about 5 years ago. Now, for your episode for this one, for Jodie Whittaker's first season, now here's something quite interesting though. Chris Chibnall wrote almost every single episode for this entire series, except for episodes 6 through 9. He did not write those at all, which different how Russell Davis did. Or in the case of Stephen Moffat, Moffat wrote in the case of the previous series, he wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only 7. Well, this one, he writes almost everything but 4. Now, basically, first start with The Woman Fell to Earth. This picks up right after the time of the Doctor, where Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is falling to Earth, and she lands on a train. This also involves like a minor alien conflict, and she lands in a place in the UK known as Sheffield. Prior to this story, I had never heard of the city at all, but it is a legit city, and I think it's set during present day, presumably. So, and we're reduced to basically about 4 new characters. One is only in this story, but comes back in hallucination later, and that's Grace, a nurse who is the wife to a guy named Graham. Now, she is black and he is white. And she has a grandson named Ryan. Her son is introduced a little bit later on. I'll get to him in a later story. Yeah. Now, Graham used to be a bus driver for years, and he retired. And he married his wife is a former nurse who actually helped him when he was going through cancer. So basically, he married her, and he was married to her for 3 years before she died. Thanks to this story. This episode in particular is known for 2 other things, aside from introduction to 4 new characters. We are also introduced to Dr. Newson's Screwdriver, which he has up in the recent series. This also is the first story not to feature the TARDIS. Basically, TARDIS on their planet. Yeah, the TARDIS doesn't show up until like toward the end of episode 2. So the whole thing, this one, is basically like aliens in Sheffield. People are like, really? Aliens in Sheffield? Yes, seriously. That's the master plan for the story. Aliens in Sheffield. And, like, they also want to destroy the city. So Grace basically sacrificed herself in order to save the city. And the guy who killed her, shows like in the finale in this weird time travel stuff. It is quite strange. It's a very disappointing finale. Yes. Yeah, they run into him again at the end where they kind of deal with him and all about revenge. Of course, the guy is never seen again afterwards. Now, the rest of the episodes are Ghost Monument. It's an interesting follow-up to the first story. It's basically like a continuing from the first episode, where Doctor thinks she's transporting herself to where her TARDIS is, but she indirectly takes Yaz, who is, if I remember correctly from the series, she is Ryan's childhood friend, along with Ryan and Graham. They get transported on the world. They get caught up in well, it's a very strange episode per se. Yeah. And also involving a race per se. Yeah. It's a okay episode per se. Aside from the fact basically that we get a chance to see the TARDIS. We've got a new interior. It's quite nice. And this is the interior we have for us the series. Episode 3 is Rosa. This one is basically the first time travel story, where they time travel to the early 60s, where they meet Rosa Parks. But the thing is, they arrived one day before the famous incident where she got arrested for, and this was a crime back then, for a black woman to sit in the front seat of a bus. Nowadays, it's fine. No hesitation at all. And though they don't know who the person was in real life who told her to give up the seat, she didn't want to. Graham basically ended up doing it, and the bus driver called the police, and she got arrested for it. And also they had Martin Luther King in the episode. Yes, Martin Luther King. And of course, I think she was suspected of being involved with him. And of course, Ryan paid a lot. He's sort of a couple times he's interacted with a real life person that he is very respectful toward, because of how person he is. And his grandmother, he did mention basically that something he said basically she would have been very happy to hear the stuff she said. It's the whole B plot of it is basically this guy trying to prevent Rosa from doing this just because of an asteroid that he went to. Yeah, but the whole Rosa plot was actually quite interesting. Episode 4. This is the one he introduces when they go back to present day. First time it's episode 1. It's called Arachnids UK. This is quite interesting, because this episode features a guest appearance by Chris North. Thinking, Chris North, that name sounds familiar. That is because it's from Law & Order. Yep, that's why I was familiar with him. Like, I was surprised he even appeared in the show. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, apparently he's running a hotel, and assistant, the woman who was there, is apparently his niece's wife, because it's revealed his niece is a lesbian, and Jack Robinson, he is a dick of a businessman. And it's only about spiders. Yeah, the whole spider thing was kind of weird. And the fact that, Yaz's mom is introduced here, along with her, basically her family. Her family name is Khan, obviously. They do explore the Khan's family history a little later on when they go to India, which I thought was quite interesting. It's interesting present day episode. It's the first one since the opening episode. The most interesting of the episode was Chris North. It's like I said, I was surprised to see him. Like, I had no idea he appeared in Doctor Who, which is quite interesting. Yeah, he's an American. Yes, Chris North is an American actor who guest starred in the episode of Doctor Who. Yeah. Then we have the Tsonga Conundrum. This mostly is a weird one about, like, one part of the episode we see a guy gets pregnant, and he thinks that the way his species are, like, guys get pregnant, give birth to girls get pregnant, give birth to girls, and Ryan and Brian are like, Ryan and Graham like, that's not how it works when it comes to humans. I mean, look for your people, but not humans. It's a weird concept. There's also a thing where apparently that this colonel has got the pilot's heart. I'm like, what? It's a weird, like, the visual of the episode was fantastic, because I heard this on Let's Say Geek that Chris Chibnall, the guy who's the showrunner, is like, his era had great looking visuals. Like, the sets look gorgeous. Everything looked like the money was spent really well here. And the CGI looked really good. Yes. I'd probably say the best thing about this episode is the set and the acting. The story itself was kind of weak at best. And plus, Pilot had this footstool thing. It was really weird. Demons of Pajem. This is the one where they visit India. It's an interesting episode. Kerblam is a take on it's a robot. It's basically like robot delivery, and the doctor receives it. It's just kind of weird what it is. It's an interesting single episode. All about this, like, we had this various different stuff going on here. It's like several different stuff going on, but it's an interesting conclusion. Witchfinders. This is quite interesting. Here's another episode where you have Ryan interacting with a real life historical figure. This one being King James I, played by Nightcrawler. And you're thinking, Nightcrawler plays King James I? Well, the best way to describe it is basically Alan Cumming playing King James. Yes, Alan Cumming, who's Scottish. It makes perfect sense for him to be here. Yeah. So we have basically another actor who I was very surprised to see. It's all about witches and the fact this alien species, like this goo trapped in a tree. Yeah, but my personal highlight of the story is Ryan's interaction with King James. It is so good, and the fact that apparently King James is ready to be a sexist, so he doesn't believe the doctor is one in charge. He thinks that Crab is the Inspector General, which is so hilarious. Yes, but really interesting. It's like the episode. Then we have It Takes You Away. Let's see. Yeah, this one is not much going on this one per se. It's going to Norway and just going to another dimension. It's just, yeah. And then we have the Russell Akavas, which is a very disappointing finale. So it's like basically, if you look at it, the first half of the series is really good. The only weak episodes I'd probably say of this whole entire series, the first episode is really good. I like Rosa. Kerblam was really fun. Witchfinders. It's been a mixed bag for this one. Yeah. What rating do I give this particular series? I'm gonna give basically like the episodes themselves. Let's see. The first episode. If you want to think what is the worst episode of this one, I'd probably is Demons with Gem. Not really. I thought that was quite interesting. I'd say probably the finale is the worst one I've seen. Yeah. Twice Upon a Time was really good. I love that one. That was really awesome. Dr. Falls, really good. Yeah. But not much to say about this one. But I'll talk about basically the very next story tomorrow. Yep, tomorrow. But the whole series itself, give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's a bit hit or miss at most for the opening series of Jodie Whittaker. Okay, so that's the particular view, and that's the video today. It's surprising I got my comic corners done. Yeah, I got them done. I had like, as I think yesterday, I had like 6, but I got them all done. But in the case of previous series for Jodie Whittaker, I have one more plus 2 New Year specials to talk about. The first one tomorrow. Okay, next video.